Hello, happy Monday. I couldn't remember what day it was then. We'll get started in a few minutes. We'll just wait for a few other people to join us and then we will get going. Hope everyone's had a good day so far. Hello, just let me know that you can hear me okay once you've joined. I'm trying to use my headphones, it's quite loud in the gym downstairs today. So let me know if you can't hear me. I'm going to give everyone 1 more minute to join the live and then we will get going. Fab. So let's get going. So I've titled this live, Fitting Fitness into Your Lifestyle, but actually it's not just fitness, it's also rehabilitation too, because as physiotherapists, this is something that we come across sometimes in people, is that they feel completely overwhelmed at the thought of having to try and fit in their rehabilitation or additional exercise, if that's what we're recommending to them, alongside their everyday lifestyle. Our jobs as physiotherapists, as sports therapists, our job at On Your Game is to make sure that we do something that fits in with your lifestyle, and that's one of the reasons why in our subjective assessments, that's when we're having a little sit down chat with you when we first meet you. We ask you a lot of questions about how much time you've got free, how, what other responsibilities and commitments you've got, are you working long hours, have you got children, what things do you like to do, so that we can really make it work and fit around your lifestyle. If I give you an hour's worth of rehabilitation and fitness training and strength stuff to do each day, but realistically you only think you've got time for 2 10-minute slots, it's not going to work. And what's going to happen then is you're not going to do it, you're not going to get results, and then you're going to be upset that you paid for physio and it's not worked. And actually it's not worked because you haven't been able to do what I've prescribed, and that's on me as a therapist, not prescribing you with the correct things to make it work. So here are a few tips and tricks that you can use to fit fitness into your everyday lifestyle. Obviously we know that keeping fit and healthy is really, really good for us. It's good for our heart, good for our lungs, good for weight management, it's good for strengthening our muscles, improving our bone mineral density, so all of that good stuff which you can listen to on lots of our other lives as well. But it's not just about working up a sweat, it's about, exercise is your secret weapon for boosting energy levels, for improving your mood, reducing your stress levels, and also for improving your productivity as well. You will skyrocket your productivity if you can find time to exercise every day. And there's lots of benefits as well to physical activity for our mental health as well. We feel more alert, we reduce stress, more focus, and also more creativity as well. So I think it's worth finding time to fit fitness into your lifestyle regardless. And exercise can really be a stress reliever as well. Think of it as a bit of a stress buster when life gets overwhelming. A good workout can be a bit of a sanctuary for you. And it doesn't have to be a workout, that can be a walk, it can be yoga, it can be anything like that is going to make you feel better about yourself and better about everything that's going on around you. So the first sort of tip and trick I'm going to give you is around time management. I get it, time can feel like a very rare commodity, but remember, if something matters to you, you make time for it. And this is why initially I would start with doing 2 things. The first one is schedule your workouts or your rehabilitation time. My gym time is scheduled into my diary on every morning. If I don't do it in the morning, I am not going to get a chance to. Right now it's 6:45, I'm on a Facebook Live. After this, I've still got another patient before I finish for the day. So the chances of me doing anything in the evening, for me, it's just a no. I just can't do it. I don't have children or anything like that, but I've got lots of other clients that wouldn't be able to do something in the evening because they've got kids, they've got to do bedtime and things like that. So find a time during your day that is your protected time to work out and schedule it into your diary just like you would schedule in a meeting. like, this is my time. It might be 10 minutes in your lunch break, it might be 10 minutes, you know, the first 10 minutes that you wake up, 10 minutes before you go to bed, anything, whatever it might, you might need to do it. And set reminders in your phone, like 10 minutes time, that is your workout time, that is your rehabilitation time. And actually the app that we give to everyone that joins On Your Game as a client has a reminder on it to remind you to do your exercises, to do your rehabilitation. And I highly recommend that you utilise that, so that then it's, you know, it's booked into your calendar. You get a reminder at 10 to 7 that you need to do your exercise, and you do your exercise at 7. And it's, you know, it's a non-negotiable. And the second thing that I sort of recommend people to do is start really small. If you go, I'm going to exercise for an hour every day, and you haven't exercised for the last 5 months, the chances of you sticking to an hour every day for longer than the first 2 days are incredibly unlikely. But if you can just do 10 minutes every day for 5 days, you're probably going to start to feel quite a bit better. And by the following week, you're like, actually, like, let's go 15. Like, I think I can fit that in. Let's go 20. And you just slowly build it up over time. So one of my patients, for example, who I was seeing, he was like, no, I'm really busy, I'm super busy with work, I can't find time to exercise, I can't go to the gym, nothing. And I said, look, you have had this injury, you had a neck injury, you've had it for a really long time, and I said, you've been to loads of other therapists. This is the first time he'd seen a physio, the first time he'd seen me. And I said, what you have done before hasn't worked, because if it had worked, you would not be sitting here right now in front of me. So we need to change the narrative, we need to change what you're doing, because if I go and do the same thing all these other therapists have done, you're going to get the same results, which isn't really results. So I was like, work with me here to find 10 minutes every day to exercise. I promise you, if you can keep that consistent of 10 minutes a day, you are going to get improvements. And that's exactly what happened. He started exercising for 10 minutes a day, and now he's like, oh, we'll do half an hour a day, we'll do 45 minutes a day, and he's doing way more. His neck pain's never been better than it is now. Don't get me wrong, it's not 100% fixed just yet, but we're getting close. And overall, he's like, I feel so much better now that I am moving regularly. So yeah, start small, because that will give you the encouragement to want to go a little bit bigger. Even if you can just spare 10 minutes every day, it adds up. But it's that consistency, it's doing something every single day, makes it into a habit, which makes you more likely to stick with it, whether that's rehab, whether it's fitness, yoga, stretching, whatever it is that it might be. The next thing that I would kind of consider is making sure that you've got efficiency with the stuff that you're doing. So one of the ways that you could be efficient, for example, if you're wanting to improve your cardiovascular fitness, you might go for a HIIT workout. Because if you're trying to go for a little bit of cardiovascular fitness, but you also want to be burning some calories, you can burn 100 calories on a walk for an hour, for example, or you can burn 100 calories in a 20-minute HIIT class or a HIIT session that you're doing yourself. You know, however you want to do it, and however much time you've got available, and what activities you would prefer. But that is a way of being quite time efficient, is doing something that is more HIIT based if you're trying to do cardiovascular stuff. So HIIT, high intensity interval training, that an example of that would be you work really hard for 30 seconds, you have 20 seconds break, and you do it 8 times, and maybe you have a 2-minute break and go again. So you could do that on a bike, you could do it running, you could do it with lots of different exercises in a circuit. Anything like that will work well for kind of cardiovascular stuff, provided that you're physically able to do all those exercises. If you're doing rehab, something that I'll often do is make it into a circuit, but it often won't be kind of cardiovascularly exhausting, because it's more likely to be kind of a bit of mobility and a bit of strength stuff. But I'll say to them, look, you don't need to have breaks between each one, because you don't have to do like 3 sets of 10 of this and 3 sets of 10 of that. You can just work between each exercise, so you don't take a break, because it's not going to be that exhausting. You're using a different muscle each time, so that then ultimately you get the session done a little bit faster if you're short on time. And then you can adjust your rest periods to how fit you are. If you are doing HIIT too, if you're a bit fitter, you might have shorter rest periods. You can get more done in that period of time. If you're looking at more strength training and weight training, then something that I would utilise instead is supersets. So a superset is where you do more than one exercise at one time. So you do one exercise straight away, afterwards you do another one, then you take your break, rather than if you've got 3 sets of 10 of dumbbell chest flies, for example, and you've got 3 sets of 10 of dumbbell bent over rows, and you're doing them separately, you're then going to have to take like at least a minute break probably in between each set. Whereas if you just do them back to back, have one break in between, you cut down your rest time. So it can be a good way if you're a little bit shorter on time, and it kind of fits in with what you're doing in the gym, is to utilise supersets, or sometimes you can do triple sets as well. So you do 3 different exercises at one time. You might do that example of a chest fly and a bent over row, and you might also put a core exercise in there. So that's something that I would recommend that you do to save a little bit of time on your workouts if you are a little bit short of it. The other things that you can do, I say this to my clients, is have you got any meetings where you don't need to be face to face, people don't need to see you on there, you probably don't need to make any notes, you kind of just need to be present for it. Get up and walk, like even if you're just around your house, like get up and walk around, do some mobility, walk outside if you can do, like, and actually you're more likely to be more creative and think of more ideas, and you've got a little bit of blood flow going, you're not feeling like falling asleep during the middle of a meeting. You know, you're able to get yourself moving, get yourself going a little bit more, and you might find that that actually improves your productivity anyway. But that is one of the other ways that I would incorporate it kind of in your day-to-day life, which kind of brings me on nicely to my next kind of topic here, which is incorporating activity throughout the day, and that'll be definitely one of the ways in which I would do it. You know, I think we can move away to a certain extent from structured workouts where it's like, okay, it's this hour, I'm going to do this, and this time. That's great, you've got the time to do that. You know, I schedule that time out, fantastic. But if you don't, there's other things that you can do that will keep you active, you know, small consistent movements throughout the day that can make a really big difference. And an example of this would be taking the stairs instead of taking the lift. You know, do a quick set of squats whilst you wait for the kettle to boil. Or one that I commonly do get people to do when they're waiting for the kettle for rehab is stand on one leg. Stand on one leg whilst your coffee is brewing, or your kettle is on, and then when it stops, then you can come off your leg and you can like alternate your leg round each time that you do it. So I find that works quite well for people. And just incorporating stand-up time and stretching time and work breaks. A lot of people don't think about that. I think when they're working, they sit there and they're tapping away and they get a little hole, and like before you know it, you're like, I've been sitting here for 3 hours and I've not peed, I've not got a drink, I've done nothing. So I recommend people, one of the reasons I recommend people to drink water, not just because of all the other benefits of water, is if you're drinking quite a bit of water and you're sitting at a desk all day, you are going to have to get up at some point to go to the toilet, and that gets you moving. And also you're going to, if you're drinking lots of water, you've got to go to the tap to get said water. So that's another way in which you can utilise, you know, moving more throughout the day. I personally always park my car as far away from the shop as possible. One of the reasons is because I don't want people to hit my car, but the second reason is that I'm like, you know what, if I park further away, I just get a few more steps in. It's an easy way, like it's not going to take me that much longer throughout the day, take me a couple more minutes, but I've got a couple more steps in, like, and that's pretty good going. So through making small changes like that, and small conscious changes where you think, oh, I'm going to do this instead of that, or you know, maybe you want to go up and down your stairs a couple of times at home, so instead of like bundling everything up into your arms as you come down, but like, you know, I'm going to do that in like 3 trips, so it's going to be just a little bit more activity. So finding ways to incorporate it is really good. And mindful movement breaks, so we're going to try this now. So I want you to take a little mini break together. I want you to stand up and you're going to stretch your arms overhead like this. Have a stand up and stretch them all the way back. Take a deep breath in and out. As you do it, imagine I'm standing up. Okay, feel that little bit of energy boost so you're not falling asleep whilst I'm talking to you. And then once your hands are up over your head, you can come down, you can try and touch your toes whilst you're still standing up as well. And you can enjoy a little stretch there. And when you sit up, deep breath in and out, and move your shoulders back, up and down. Really feel that tension rolling away and relax. And also, you know, despite it being good to move, I think also if you're having quite a tense day at work, it's quite stressful, someone's winding you up a little bit, taking a second, taking a big deep breath in, moving your shoulders, relaxing them down, can just be like, okay, let's have a reset and go again. And then finding enjoyment in fitness is so important. I think this is something that people really struggle with. Like, remember, exercise should be enjoyable. When you find an activity you love, you're more likely to stick with it. You know, try different things, try dancing, try hiking, try yoga, you know, joining a sports team of any description. There's loads now that I know with netball, for example, that's what I play. We've got lots of like back to netball teams, so it doesn't matter that you've had 3 kids, haven't played netball in 20 years. There is a team there that will support you in that and get you back playing to whatever level you want to get back to. You know, so for whatever it might be, like whatever your happy place is. For me, like going to the gym isn't something I necessarily enjoy every day. I don't wake up and be like, oh, I'm so excited to go to the gym. I'm like, this is a habit, and therefore I'm being dragged by my habit to the gym. But my love comes from being able to swim, to play netball, things like that. That's the things that I really actually love and I enjoy. So when we're focusing on people's rehabilitation, I'll often try and find something that I know that they enjoy or they like doing, or link the activity to it. So like, if they really like listening to a certain type of music, I'm like, okay, like let's try our exercise to this music, or let's do this. You know, you've got to make it enjoyable somehow. You know, I don't think there's any right type of workout, like, oh, you've got to be doing yoga, you've got to be doing strengthening, this, that and the other. Actually, a lot of different training styles or things, you know, dancing or yoga will incorporate lots of other components like strength and fitness and flexibility and balance and mobility. So find something you enjoy and try and stick to that. I think that's kind of good advice for anyone. So yeah, I would go now. Anyone got any questions? Let's sort of dive into this. If you've got any questions around this, then please message below, whether you're wondering about workout recommendations or saving time tips. You know, I'm here to help. So yeah, let me know. And one of the things that I get asked a lot actually is like, how do I stay motivated? And I think the best thing for that is like consistency almost beats motivation in a way. When you're used to doing something every day, whether you feel motivated to do it or not, you do it. And like I just said, when we go to the gym, I do not wake up like, I'm so desperate to get in the gym. I wake up and I'm like, right, well that's part of my day, it's scheduled out, it's part of my day, I've got to go and I've got to do that. And by the time I'm there, I'm normally, you know, I enjoy it, I get it done, but it's not something that I really look forward to. So I think, yeah, that motivation comes from just being consistent. It feels like a habit. Cool. It doesn't look like anyone's got any questions, but you know, if you do think of any, then please let me know. If you feel like you're struggling maybe with the rehab you've been given already by us or by anyone else, then please let us know, and we can help guide you in the right direction to get you booked in, get that sorted out for you, so we can give you something that's really achievable instead of something that just feels hard and impossible to do. But today we explored, you know, the benefits of exercise, time management techniques, efficient workouts and integrating movement throughout the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really good. If you've got any other insights to share, then let me know. But yeah, I think I want you to pick one thing from today and start implementing that into your everyday life so that you can get more active and also complete all your rehabilitation exercises should you have been given any. Thank you for joining. Bye.